Southeast Asia remains in the grip of an extreme heat wave, with a number of countries in the region experiencing sweltering conditions. Vietnam recorded its highest ever temperature over the weekend, reaching just over 44 degrees in the north of the country. Thailand and Myanmar have also seen extremely high temperatures in recent weeks. Here's Matt Taylor with more.
This has been one of the longest lasting, one of the largest and most extreme heat waves seen across parts of Southeast Asia. We have seen temperature records shattered across many countries, and records have been breaking day after day after day. The heat wave has been going for weeks on end. All-time temperature records have been broken in a number of countries, temperatures well above 40 degrees. Many of these, of course, will be verified in the weeks ahead. So what is behind this such an extreme occurrence? Well, what we've seen over the last few weeks, if not a couple of months, has been a persisting area of high pressure. High pressure has stopped the rain clouds from forming, and that has prolonged the dry season across these regions. The ground drying out with clear skies overhead, sunshine continuing to heat the ground. Those temperatures have been lifting day by day. High sea temperatures around the coast have also not been helping. And of course, this is all a hallmark of our changing climate. Things, though, will change as far as the heat's concerned in the short term. The red colours here, where temperatures significantly above normal to start this week, become more confined towards Bangladesh, but building this time across Indonesia and Malaysia. Those hit by the recent heat, though, will see temperatures drop a little bit over the coming days as showers and storms become more prevalent.
That was Matt Taylor reporting on that story for us. And to explain why this is happening and what can be done about it, I'm joined in the studio by Professor Benjamin Horton, who is the director of the Earth Observatory of Singapore. It's wonderful to get you on the programme, Professor. And I don't know how much you were able to listen into what my colleague Matt was saying there. But, you know, Vietnam, other parts of the region seeing super high temperatures. Why is all of this happening?
Well, it's really a simple case of arithmetic. So you have to know for any individual country or location, what are the warmest times of the year, what is happening with natural climate variability, and then what is the state of climate change. So for Southeast Asia, the warmest times in the year, which is the intermonsoon period, are commonly found between April, May and June. Then when we think about natural climate variability, here in Southeast Asia, we are controlled by the El Niño Southern Oscillation. This has two phases, a La Nina, which causes relatively cool and wet conditions in Southeast Asia, and an El Niño, which is warm and dry. And recently, in the last 3 years, we've been in a La Nina phase, and now we're transitioning to El Niño. And then finally, we have climate change. Globally, temperatures have gone up around 1 degree C, but in Vietnam, in the last 30 or 40 years, they've gone up by over 2 degrees C.
So it sounds like what you're saying, that it is going to get even hotter, that temperatures will rise even further, given that we're sort of just starting, aren't we, to enter this El Niño phase. Is that right?
Well, when we think about El Niño, the last 3 years have been in a La Nina phase, and that's been suppressing the impacts of climate change and causing wet weather. And we've seen that here in Singapore. Now we're transitioning to El Niño. We're not in a full-blown El Niño state. There's around an 80% probability that towards the end of this year, we will be in an El Niño. So I would project that sometime this time next year, April or May 2024, you'd have the increasing effects of climate change, you would have an El Niño, and you would have the warmest weather of the year.
So what does that look like? I mean, you know, we're already seeing record temperatures in places like Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar. I mean, temperatures are going to continue to rise. How high can they get?
Well, when records are broken, they're always a surprise. But perhaps not to climate scientists. We've been projecting since the 1990s that if we did nothing about our greenhouse gases, we would have these extremes in weather. Extreme rainfall causing landslides, extreme heat causing drought. We have to be more prepared and we have to be more resilient. These extremes that we're experiencing now, in the coming years, will become the new normal.
So what does that mean, being prepared, being more resilient? I mean, you know, we talk a lot about climate change on this programme, but how do you prepare for something like this?
Well, the first aspect is knowledge. Knowledge is power. You know what to do. So having a knowledge that in April and May, when we're in an El Niño state, in Southeast Asia, you can expect very, very warm temperatures. So you have to think about your daily life, making sure you have enough drinking water, making sure you have a cool place to escape the hottest parts of the day in the mid-afternoon, making sure that you keep care of the elderly and the young. Try to keep people safe, so therefore you can continue to enjoy your life early in the morning or late in the evening.
Excellent advice there. Benjamin Horton, Professor and Director of the Earth Observatory of Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us.